low. That's right, just take a minute to take that one in. It's wonderful to be here this evening. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to spend time with you. Before we get going, I would like to ask a little bit of a personal question, if you don't mind. Does anyone here have a handbag with them? Fantastic. That makes my job so much easier because you're going to know what I'm talking about when we get into it. Actually, let me just ask one more question. Do you know why you bought that handbag? Think about that for a minute. I think a lot about why people buy handbags because, as you've heard, that's what I do for a living. I design them. Here are some of the reasons people purchase handbags. By the way, handbags are otherwise known as the place where function and identity merge. And by function and identity, I mean, for example, bear with me, don't mess with me, I mean business. Or envy me, I'm a princess. Or don't bother me, I'm on vacation. Or admire me, I am sophisticated. Or respect me, I am smart. Or be charmed by me, I'm nostalgic. Or don't judge me, I'm practical. I could go on, I'm sure you can imagine other identities and functions. By the way, growing up, I never dreamed of working in fashion. I mean, fashion is superficial, right? But if we forget about the word fashion and we focus on the word communication, then suddenly we're talking about something essential. We all need to communicate with one another, and a big part of our dialogue happens non-verbally. It turns out that what we wear speaks volumes about our values, our aspirations, our community, and our humanity. Perhaps more than anything else, what we wear is a direct expression of our intentions. My intention, once I began working as a luxury handbag designer, was to find the best materials in the most splendid locations and to focus all my energy on quality. Who could blame me? For anyone with similar interests, just between us, I highly recommend the luxury accessories industry. Aside from the gorgeous food, imagine going to sample rooms in Italy and learning about how real, authentic designer goods are made. This is the part I find to be genuinely glamorous. Why? Because this is where extraordinary objects come to life, and the people, the artisans who make them, genuinely care about beauty. Materials are handled with great respect, and everything is made to last for years, even for decades. Of course, most people never see behind the scenes, although you're catching a glimpse right now. Instead, they see finished product. In fact, here's what we all see when we walk through an airport or we glance at a billboard. We see companies creating striking narratives, visual narratives that lure us to dreams of a better life. Are they selling us handbags? No, they're selling us status. Status can have different meanings for different people, of course, but what I'm talking about is a story we want to tell ourselves. The story is that we matter and that we deserve respect. Over the last 20 plus years, I've built my career by creating iconic designs worn by celebrities, worthy of press attention. Whoops. I must admit that although I don't spend that much time following the lives of stars, it's been gratifying to see them wear some of my designs. And so that's it, right? Design a bag, have a famous person wear it, maybe on the red carpet, and create demand, right? I got pretty good at this, and eventually I was hired to be the creative director of handbags at an Italian luxury firm. For me, it was the big time, my big career game changer. On my first official day, I was scheduled to meet with the CEO, who was also my boss, at the company headquarters in Milan. Let me describe the setting. Imposing palazzo, the kind of thing you might have seen in a movie, arched hallway covered in marble, very grand. I was expecting to receive a design brief or a business strategy, a plan, perhaps, but instead, he gave me just one sentence, and this is what he said. When I see that the bags that you design are knocked off, I'll know you were successful. Ever since that moment, I've been fascinated by how this form of validation works. Imitation may be the sincerest form of flattery, but what else does it mean? One day when I was doing errands in Manhattan, I spotted a woman with a bag that looked familiar, but oh my goodness, it was a knockoff of one of my designs. I'm not much of an actor, but somehow I managed to go up to her and I said, "Excuse me, I love your bag. Could you tell me where you got it?" And my, at that point, very new friend was so kind to share her source. It was a stall on Canal Street, which is famous in New York City for knockoff and counterfeit bags. I rushed down there right away. I purchased a bag, the bag, for $40. I paid cash. When I got home, I put it into one of my employer's felt dust bags, and then I put it into an official company box made in Italy. I put it in my suitcase. I got on a plane. I went to Milan, and I had a meeting the next day with my boss. I pulled him aside in the meeting to another room, and I said, "Guess what? I have a surprise for you." To his credit, when he opened the box, he pulled out the very cheap knockoff of my design, and he just laughed. I asked for a raise on the spot. I need to let you know, I got the raise. For the next decade, I became obsessed with logos and how they affect us as consumers. I began to see branding as a language, specifically a language of power. As a designer, I use logos as secret weapons, designed to deliver a kind of dopamine paradox. Be exceptional, be unique, special, at the same time, belong. Meanwhile, I started to ponder my own role in a professional ecosystem designed to create an artificial need for new things. Eventually, I also enrolled in a master's program with the intention of studying this ecosystem. My central thesis question was, why do consumers purchase knockoff handbags? As my qualitative research unfolded, I began to see how so many of my own assumptions were either cliche or just wrong. The simplistic idea of a brand and the copier of the brand, that binary relationship may be the biggest fake of all. So, are knockoffs good or are knockoffs bad? Turns out, that's not the point. What I'm here to tell you is that a logo, a real logo or a fake logo, won't make any one of us successful or happy. Understanding our own impulses will liberate us from a system of consumption that our planet can no longer support. I'm going to say that one again. Understanding our own impulses will liberate us from a system of consumption that our planet can no longer support. So I contemplated fakes to get closer to my own truth. Do I still love handbags? I do. Can I relate to the simple enjoyment of wearing something beautiful, whatever beautiful means to you? Absolutely. So what's changed for me? What's changed for me is my belief that we can reimagine what status can mean. Established luxury brands, companies can market their power and power the market, but only if we let them. We can demand a new definition of chic, simply by examining our own values and changing the way we choose to behave as consumers. Here's my proposal for a new definition. Chic can be complete acceptance of personal choice. Chic can be complete acceptance of people who don't look like us, who don't dress like us, who don't create the same families we create. Chic can be embracing that we are each a beautiful work in progress, with or without the latest design. How we treat one another is the ultimate expression of personal style, and how we express our authentic selves can never be knocked off. Thank you.